I wish I could have afforded a 1 gig hard drive. I was like, man, I really want one of those. I really want it. I wish I could have afforded they call it a capture card. A capture card was where you could put video into your computer, and this was just coming out. It wasn't even really video, it was pictures, where you could just take a camera and you could shoot a picture and then you could finally put it into your computer. It's called a capture card. And that was like $300, $400, $500 for a capture card or more. So I was like, I want a capture card real bad. I want a capture card. I finally got one later on in years. But my point is, I gravitated towards that current technology that was available. I wanted it. And now when I look at it, 40 years later, it's obsolete. Nobody knows what I'm talking about. Doesn't matter. So that realization it hit me really hard last night, and I told the Lord that I was going to tell everybody about this today. It was a vision of my past, my life, from computers to the video toaster, the Amiga video toaster. That was one of the computers that I craved. I really wanted it. Finally got it years later. That came out in 1990. I got it later on in 1995 or something, somewhere around there when I got it, like 5 years later. It was something I really wanted. Very expensive machine to me. It's like $5,000 for that machine, and I got it later on for maybe $1,000 or something like that, or $500 or something like that. Or I think I got it in a trade. Obsolete today. You know, all the stuff is obsolete. So then this revelation of looking back at my past has turned full turn, okay, 360 degrees, whatever. We're in 2025. And people still to this very day gravitate towards the newest things, the newest cars, the newest technology. iPhone 16. There's going to be an iPhone 17 pretty soon, I'm sure. But we want this technology. We want the new AI technology. We want the real robots. We want all these new things. And it doesn't matter. Years from now, the stuff will be obsolete compared to technology that if this world continues to grow and not be destroyed. But the forest fires kind of is a big wake up. A lot of people lost their homes. One guy, he lost like 4,000 books. Another guy lost this. Another guy lost that. People lost collections of cars and all kinds of different things. So once again, this stuff doesn't matter. You have huge forest fires and typhoons and all these different things that are going to happen. This stuff does not matter. But what does matter is eternal life. Now, the reason I'm telling you all this is because man can promise you all kinds of different things, and through man, Satan works through men. Okay, Satan works through men. Satan works through women. Women can promise you things. Man can promise you things, and put things in front of you, and dangle things in front of you, and say, "Hey, wow, look at that! Look at that car. You might want that. Man, that's nice. Look at this. Look at that. Look at the new iPhone 16. Look at the new iPhone 17. Look at the new iPhone 18 when those come out." And during that time in my life, in my 20s, I gravitated towards a lot of technology that does not exist anymore. That's not important. But back then, it was very, very cool to have. Even my truck, my cars and trucks. I had used cars, but I wanted a newer car. I would love to have a 1988 truck back then, but I didn't have an 88. I had an 83. Okay, so I always had older vehicles and older equipment. Never had the latest, greatest, brand new equipment and things of that nature. If I get something brand new right now, it might be a brand new part, like the little buck converter I talked about yesterday in my video, or a little toy like this my little RC car, something like that. And I might get that brand new, and I'm happy with it. But it doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. Now, like I said, men, women, Satan will promise you luxury, things that you may like, things that you may enjoy, contracts, jobs, new jobs. Oh wow, you're gonna do this, you're gonna make this amount of money, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, we want to sign you up, we want to sign you up for a contract. You know, you might have X amount of years in that job. I was watching a lot of coaches are being fired. I was like tripping out. Look, I don't know that much about sports, but I was talking to my dad and he was showing me about all these coaches being fired. The Kings coach, they talked about that for about a week, being fired, and all these football player coaches and stuff are being fired. So would they get a 5-year contract, 3-year contract, whatever, and they're gone. Now, a lot of times people have a lot of possessions, a lot of things in their home and this and that. They have a wildfire or whatever, some type of tragic event, and they lose everything. They lose their complete home, or they lose their job, and everything that they work for is gone. And that can turn into whatever, depression, can turn into whatever. You know, I've been there where, not through an event where I did lose everything, but it was my fault. You know, I couldn't pay the bills, whatever it was. You know, I lost my storages in Vegas. I had 4 storages in Vegas, and I lost a lot of equipment and things like that. It was pretty hard. Even out here in Sacramento back in the day, I remember having storages out here, and I lost a lot of things. I lost cars. I lost all kinds of things. But I'm still here. 61 years old, 2025, still here alive, still kicking it. And like I said, a reflection of my life. Maybe someone else out there has experienced some of the things that I've experienced, or something similar. This video is to help people, helping people TV. Okay, we haven't talked about that in a long time. That's what this is about. Helping people TV, not just about technology, not just about, this is more like bro life episode, whatever. We don't know what we're going to call this video yet, but it's a flashback vision of my life. It's a revelation from God. Like I said, 61 years old. I don't know how long I'm going to be here on this earth, but what I do know is that everything that I've experienced is for a reason. It's for a reason for me to tell you what I've experienced, to help you, because this could be my last video. We don't know how long we're going to be here. So I had to wake up this morning. I had to tell you these things, and this is the main thing. Out of all the things that you've collected, out of all the things that you have, and all the things that you gravitate towards, the new technology now, like I said before, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 40 years from now, if you are still around, I don't think I'll be around, but if I were to be around, a lot of these things are not going to mean anything. But when you leave this earth, say I leave this earth in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever, say I leave this earth, that's going to mean something, because God promises you eternal life in a peaceful setting, in a, how should I say it, a glorified body. So you won't have this same body, you have a glorified body. We don't know how that's going to be, but we visualize it, and it could be like a super body. I visualize it as some type of super body that, you know, nothing can hurt this body because it's supposed to be eternal, a body that lasts forever. So how would you categorize, how would you visualize this body? But it's a glorified body. No sickness, no disease, no crime, no wildfires, everyone happy, no diseases. You're living in a, what they call a kingdom, I guess. You're living in the kingdom. Now, that's promised to you if you follow God's commandments. You know? Now, people don't believe or understand how all that works, but there's always a big picture to everything. when I create something, I build something, I always have a vision of what it's going to do, how it's going to look, how it's going to perform, and I'm constantly working on whatever I'm working on to make it work. But sometimes it doesn't always work. We know that. But my point is, man promises you what's in front of you. Man says, hey, look at that car. You want that car? Take it. It's yours. Make payments on it. Hey, you want that house? It's yours. Take it. Make payments on it. You may never pay it off. I was talking to a girl in the washroom the other day, in the laundry room, and she lost her phone. And she could not find it. She came in there crying and everything. It was so sad. And she was like, my phone's not even paid for. My phone is not even paid for. What am I going to do? And the first thing I thought, your phone's not paid for. You have an iPhone? She said, yes. I said, oh, man. I said, well, I'll ask around and blah, blah, blah. And she wanted, she was really just upset. So she came back like 2 or 3 times looking for it and just looking so sad. And the first thing I thought in my head was somebody took her iPhone. Nobody. This is the kind of world we live in. A lot of times people take your phone. It doesn't have to be an iPhone. I got an Android. I got a free phone, a Obama phone, and somebody took that one day. I finally got it back, but I had to search and search, and I was going crazy. And the only reason I got it back because I had this weird turquoise case on it, and I happened to see a guy walking with the case and the phone. I started backtracking. I even called the phone. I kept calling the phone, and I dropped it outside right by my car. And I went back and I kind of backtracked. I looked over there, and the guy was walking away with my phone. And then I stopped him and I said, hey, he actually got in his car. I seen him put the case in his pocket, and he got in his car. And I stopped him. I kind of blocked him. I was driving up, and I blocked him with my car, and I said, hey, is that my phone? I said, did you find a phone? And then he goes, oh, yeah, I was going to bring it to you. Guy doesn't even know me. But that's the kind of world we live in. That was an Obama phone, okay? I can show it to you. It's a, yeah, I'm not going to pull it out, but it's an Obama phone. It's called, it's an Obama phone. I call it Obama phone, but it's not an Obama phone because Obama wasn't president back then, so I guess it was a Biden phone. It was an Biden phone, okay? I had a Trump phone before that. Now, if I get a new phone, it'll be a Trump phone because Trump is president again, right? Yeah, that's how I relate it. But anyway, my point is, she finally came back and she said, I found my phone. I said, did you find your phone? She said, I found my phone. The couch ate it. That happens a lot. I sit here on this couch, and I've lost my phone in this couch lots of times. So I could see that happening. I said, yeah, I've been there. But my point is, it was an iPhone. It was expensive. It wasn't paid for. She's still making payments on it. And she was upset. She was crying. She gravitated to having I said, was it an iPhone 16? She said it was an iPhone 15. It doesn't matter. But it's still new technology. And I was like, wow. So I can understand that. I was upset when I lost my Obama phone because I'm looking at all my information in there and everything that I need to, I use the phone to buy and do this and do that. And I didn't have a code on it either, where you have a lock screen and all that stuff. So I was like very upset. But the thing of it is, anything that you gravitate towards now will not be important in the future. 10 years from now, 20 years from now, whatever, 30 years from now, it will not be important. It's important to you right now, and that's fine. But don't let it take over you. And that's what this video is about. Because I look at things that I wanted back then. I go all the way back to all the computers, like I tell you before, the Amiga. I can talk about the video toaster. I can talk about the TriCaster systems that came out in, I think 2005 was the TriCasters, and the Trinity. All these things I wanted back then. I got some of them now, don't get me wrong. for collectible museum pieces, broseum pieces, but they're useless in the real world. A lot of these things. TriCaster, I can still use that a little bit. It came out in 2005. I just got my TriCasters over there. I got like 5 of them now. And out of the 5, I think 2 of them are working, or 3 of them are working. Whatever. Computer-wise,